Good afternoon, everyone. We're about to begin this Q&A session for the TIC Americas Finals. Thank you so much for being with us today. It's going to be a short presentation, and we're going to focus more on any questions that you might have. So before we begin, I wanted to give you a little explanation on how we're going to manage this Q&A session. Basically, I will be going through the slides, telling you some of the general information. Towards the end, I will open the floor for you to make specific questions. So feel free to either type down your question on the questions tab or push the raised hand button. And if you do that, we will unmute your microphone so that you can go ahead and make the question via the microphone. So once again, two ways to participate and make your questions. One would be to type down your question on the questions tab, and the second one will be for you to push the raised hand button, and we will unmute your microphone so that you can go ahead and make us a question. For today, I will be answering the questions. We will also have some support from Ignacio Garza, and hopefully we can go ahead and answer all of your current questions. Also, before we begin, I want to congratulate you all on reaching the finals of TIC Americas and the Caribbean Innovation Competition, as well being the Caribbean Innovation Competition a part of TIC Americas. So let's begin. We have a couple of things that we will be discussing. We got the list right now. Excuse me for that. Okay. And what we got on the agenda is talk a little bit about YBT, which at this point you already are experts on it. Also, we're going to talk about the finalists. We're going to talk about the agenda for the finals. We're going to talk about the evaluations. I know that some of you had some questions regarding how the evaluations are going to go. There was some confusion about the elevator pitch. Everything is going to be clear after this session. We're also going to talk a little bit about the International Expo, what it is and what we expect from you. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the venues. It's not going to be just one, it's going to be two. I'm going to talk a little bit about general rules, some resources, and some contacts that you may need. Most of you already are in contact with us, but still we're going to share that with you. So let's go ahead. Again, most of you already know this, but let me just reiterate that the Young America's Business Trust is an international nonprofit organization that works in cooperation with the Organization of American States. Our focus is to promote social and economic development of young people around the world, and to do this, our main tools are entrepreneurship, youth knowledge, leadership skills, and technology. Since we were created more than 15 years ago, YBT has strengthened more than 7,000 young people in more than 75 countries through our programs and activities. So the competition is divided into certain categories. At the finals, we're going to have a mix of the different categories. You know, there are different amounts of finalists from each category, so it would be appropriate to stop a little second and just explain to you how this is divided. So at the finals in Cancun, we're going to have 4 different categories and an award. The first category is Startup Challenge. This is a challenge that was tailored for Latin America. From Startup Challenge, we are going to have 4 finalists. There's going to be 1 award for that category, and it's going to be a $7,000 award. For the Eco Challenge, which is also a more broader competition for the Caribbean and included, we're going to have 15 finalists. And within those 15 finalists, 5 will receive awards. 3 are going to be hemispheric awards. This means that our 3 awards, 1 for each Eco Challenge. As you may remember, the Eco Challenge is aimed at answering the problematic of 3 different challenges. One is the access to water. The other one is the PET and BOPP, recycling and recollection, and the last one is sustainable agriculture. So those are the three hemispheric awards. Then we got one special award within the Eco Challenge for Central American startups and projects, and we got one special award within the Eco Challenge that's just for Colombia, the country. Each one of those awards is $5,000. We got also another category that's focused on a country. This is the TIC República Dominicana, or TIC Dominican Republic. We're going to have three finalists from the Dominican Republic, and that is one award for $5,000. We got the Caribbean Innovation Competition, which I'm going to assume that most of you are part of. We're going to have 8 finalists from the Caribbean Innovation Competition, or CIC, and there's going to be 2 awards for CIC. Each award is going to be $5,000. Last but not least, we are going to give an award to the Young Women Entrepreneur of the Year. This is a person that we have already selected. You will get to meet her, but she will be given this award. She will be traveling to Cancun and receiving this award, and also having a cash award of $5,000. It's going to be great. You're going to get to know all these people from different countries. Remember that what you're getting out of this, out of being a finalist, it's not just the possibility to earn this seed capital, is also getting this trip to Cancun with all expenses covered, where you'll be able to connect with other entrepreneurs that are doing other great stuff just as you, and maybe do some networking, not just with entrepreneurs, but also with other stakeholders that will be part of the finals. And when I say stakeholders, you can imagine from a government official to someone that works with entrepreneurs at an international scale, people from the World Bank, people from the Inter-American Development Bank, just a myriad of personalities that will, of course, be of huge potential or opportunity for you to connect with. So keep that in mind. Remember, you're not just going to compete, you're going to have access to this network. You're going to have to meet new people that might generate new connections for you in the future. So moving on to the agenda, we got most of you arriving on Saturday, June 17th. Maybe at the beginning you might remember that there were going to be some activities on Saturday, June 17th, but that has changed now. There are a lot of you that are not getting there until late at night, so we decided that we're going to leave Saturday, June 17th, just for the arrival of entrepreneurs to Cancun, Mexico. There is going to be transportation between the airport and the hotel, but for you to be able to access the transportation, you have to have already sent us your itinerary. Well, you have already sent us itinerary for those who are traveling with you, besides from the people that are receiving the scholarship. So if we sent you your ticket, your airplane ticket, if you're the one that received the scholarship, you're going to have, for sure, you're going to have transportation from the airport to the hotel. But also, if other team members are traveling and they're coming at a different time than you, then you should have already sent us their itinerary, so that we might be able to fit them in one of the buses that will be traveling from the airport to the hotel. So if there's anything that you want to discuss with us regarding that, you can send us an email and we can see it case by case. But if you're the one that's receiving the scholarship, don't worry, you will have transportation from the airport to the hotel. Also, we still are coordinating with the organizers of the General Assembly, but on Saturday you also will need to pick up your accreditation to enter the General Assembly. Most of you, well, all of you should have already registered for the General Assembly of the Organization of American States with the letter that we sent you. And with that, you will be eventually be admitted. You'll get this card, this letter that you need to print out. This is your letter that is accrediting you to be able to enter the General Assembly. Please don't forget to print out that acceptance letter for the General Assembly that you will be getting in the next days. And with that letter, on Saturday or Sunday at some point, we will take you to the venue of the General Assembly to get your physical badge so that you can enter the venue. No one will be able to enter the venue if they don't have their badge. So it is extremely important that you print your acceptance letter for the General Assembly, which you will be getting soon. Not yet, but you'll be getting it soon from the General Assembly, and have it with you at all times. On Sunday, June 18th, we have a very busy day. We will begin the day with evaluations. This will be in the venue will be the Crystal Hotel where we're staying, so you don't have to worry about transportation. We will have the evaluation rooms within the hotel, and we're going to give you a heads up. We're going to explain to you where you're going to be evaluated when you're there in the hotel. So we're going to do evaluations the whole morning. Then we're going to stop for lunch. Once we finish lunch at the hotel, we will be departing to the Moon Palace Hotel. The Moon Palace is the second venue where we're going to have activities. Basically, the venues are divided into the Hotel Crystal, where we're staying and we're doing the evaluations, and the Moon Palace, where we're holding the plenary sessions, the inauguration ceremonies, the closing ceremonies and awards, and also the International Expo. I'm going to talk a little bit about the International Expo in a bit. So after lunch, we head with our buses to the Moon Palace. And this is important at this point on Sunday is where we will be assembling the booth. The booth is your space in the International Expo. The International Expo is a space that all the entrepreneurs of the competition will have a booth, and you'll be able to dress it up and receive visits from people, and you're going to be pitching your startup, pitching your project to them. So it's very important that you have a nice looking place that is attractive, and that you have also practice what you're saying to people that come and visit your booth. You don't want someone to get there and see that you have nothing and you start giving just a long speech. You rather want people to be attracted by your booth with decorations you have, with maybe a prototype that you have depending on your project, or maybe you can showcase some audiovisual materials or some pamphlets. That will leave that to you. We're going to give you a space where you'll be able to dress it up how you like. I'm going to talk a little bit about the booth in a bit, but keep in mind that it will be your responsibility to dress it up and also to be prepared to pitch your project to people that visit your booth. They're going to be specific times during Monday when and during Sunday too, when we'll all be at the International Expo, and you'll be showcasing your project. Very important. So going back a little bit, just revising everything. We're going to do the evaluations that morning on Sunday at the hotel where we're staying. We have already all the evaluations room prepared for you. After lunch in the hotel, we're going to transport everyone to the Moon Palace. The Moon Palace, that's where we're going to assemble the booths. We're going to have some basic stuff for you there, and you're going to be in charge of dressing it up with the stuff you bring from either your country or the stuff that you're planning on getting in Mexico, if that's the case. Last but not least, after assembling the booth, we will have the official visit to the International Expo and the opening ceremony of the TIC Americas Finals. On that opening ceremony, we're going to have various important stakeholders, such as the Secretary General of the Organization of American States, representatives from the government of Mexico, and also representatives from the World Bank, the IDB, among others. So Sunday night, Sunday from 5 to 8, we'll have that opening ceremony and the official visit to the International Expo. The second day, which is Monday, June 19th, we're going to have the whole day at the Moon Palace Convention Center, as opposed to Sunday, where we have the morning at the Crystal Hotel. Here, we're going to start the day at the Moon Palace Convention Center, and this is the day where it's a full day from 9 to it says 7, but it's probably going to be more 8, where we're going to have the plenary sessions. We're going to have some really interesting speakers talking to you. We're going to have also some allotted time for the International Expo, and we're going to have what you're all are going there for, a closing ceremony and the awards. By then, all the evaluations will be tabulated and the winners will be determined. And on the closing ceremony, we'll be giving out the awards to the winners of each category. Feel free to type down your questions as I'm speaking. I will address your questions towards the end, but sometimes it's easier for you to start writing down the questions as I'm speaking. So just give me a second. Let me drink a little bit of water. We're going to go ahead and begin talking about the evaluations. The evaluations are going to be, as I mentioned earlier, on Sunday morning. This will be at the hotel where we're staying, so don't worry that much about transportation or getting there late. We're going to have everything scheduled and prepared for you to be on time and relaxed for your evaluation. Here are some stuff that we've written down that I want to mention to you. For the evaluations, you can obviously rely on graphic and or audiovisual material. You can give pamphlets to the judges. This is going to be a private room where it's going to be you and at least maximum of another team member in that room, and a panel of judges. So it's just going to be the two of you, well, the two groups of you. You can give the judges some graphic material, and also what we do recommend is for you to have a PowerPoint presentation, a pitch deck, or we do not recommend a video because videos usually take away attention from you, but do be prepared to show a PowerPoint presentation at least. So you'll be facilitated a laptop, and we're still figuring out if we're giving you a projector or a screen to project your PowerPoint presentation. But be sure that you will be able to make a PowerPoint presentation to the judges. Please feel free to bring your own laptop. We advise you to have more than one USB with the presentation, and also for you to have a digital version in your email of the PowerPoint presentation. That way, we're making sure that one way or another you're going to have your PowerPoint presentation at hand. If you're using your own laptop, which is also recommended, please make sure before you go into the room that the presentation is up and running, that the computer is not frozen. That way you don't lose time in turning on the computer and other preparations that might be done before you go into the room. Also, the judges commission or the panel of judges is formed by professionals from different disciplines, academics, they're businessmen, they're people that have a long trajectory in entrepreneurship, and the judges will of course provide feedback in the evaluation rooms. In a couple of slides, I'll show you the general how the evaluation is segmented. As I said before, a maximum of 2 participants per team will be able to present to the judges in this private session in the evaluations. This will be, of course, the person that has received the scholarship, and if you're traveling with additional members, one more can join in that room. Also, the finalists of Startup Challenge, the Eco Challenge, and TIC Dominican Republic will be able to make their presentations in Spanish, and the finalists of the CIC can only present in English, which I'm assuming that won't be a problem. So the presentation structure, it's 45 minutes from beginning to end, and in general terms, we give you, the team, 5 minutes to prepare. That is, you get into the room, set up your laptop, set up the PowerPoint presentation, give out the pamphlets or give out any graphic material or any other, or show a prototype, any other thing that you need. There's 5 minutes allocated for preparation. Then we are going to do a 15-minute presentation. And this, I want to be very clear, because there has been some confusion on the pitch, whether if it's a pitch that you're going to do to an audience or a pitch that you're going to do to just the judges. So forget about the pitch you're doing towards an audience. Right now, the most important pitch you're going to do is the pitch that is part of the presentation with the panel of judges. And the pitch is within those, within the presentation segment of the presentation structure. So we're doing 15 minutes of presentation. Within those 15 minutes, you're going to do a pitch. Your pitch should include your team. You know, we have already talked about this. We have a webinar on how to do an elevator pitch. I recommend that you go back and see those webinars. Also, just practice a lot by yourself. A winning pitch should include, you know, so some information about your team and why they're good, the solution you're proposing, and how you're going to get there. You know, how you're going to escalate the solution, or how have you already done it. Also, you'll be in those 15 minutes, you will be presenting your business plan. This includes explaining your business model, why you're, explaining your innovation, why this is an innovative program or project, excuse me. We have picked you because we think that your businesses have a certain degree of innovation that is very exciting for us. We want you to explain that to the judges. If you have a prototype, this being an online prototype, or you have a physical prototype, we want you to also be able to show that to the judges. And if you have any video, well, you can also include that. As I said before, it's totally up to you. If you are presenting a video, we recommend it to be short, and also just play it to the judges, not while you're talking. Because if you're talking and you're playing the video, it might be confusing. It might draw attention to not the right spaces. So again, if you're doing a video, you're more than welcome to do it. Just try it to be short, and also not to interfere with your talking. So that is the 15 minutes you'll have for presentations. After those 15 minutes, it's going to be back and forth with the judges for another 15 minutes. They're going to do question and answers. They're going to ask you stuff. You're going to answer. It's going to be some very nice feedback between you two. We have allocated 15 minutes for that too. And finally, the judges, after deliberation, will give you some pointers, some recommendations, maybe talk a little bit about some stuff that was not fully understood on the presentation. And we have allocated 10 minutes for that. And that is the presentation structure. This is all in Spanish, but we will be making an English version of this. Let me just translate it as I go. But this is basically some of the criteria and evaluation and scoring that the judges will be doing. So the final presentation, the presentation structure I was talking to you about, is going to be evaluated with 5 different points. The first point is the business plan. That is going to have a weight of 25% of your score. Then the second point is your presentation, how good you're doing your presentation, how eloquent you were, how clear you were, and that is going to be another 25 points for your presentation, for your total score. Then the third one is your level of innovation. That's going to be worth 20 points. The fourth thing would be your prototype. Remember, a prototype doesn't have to be a physical thing. If you are an app developer or a website, you can also do, a demo of the app or a demo of the website, and that will count as a prototype, and that accounts for 15 points of your total score. And finally, the elevator pitch you do, that 5 or 3 minutes within your presentation that is aiming at presenting your team and your innovation, your solution, and how you're going to scale it. That is also 15 points of your total score. So that sums up to 100% or 100 points. The scale of the evaluation is going to be from 0 to 5. I'm not going to go into each one of those, but in general terms, 0 is that it's not acceptable, that you're not satisfactory answering that specific part, and 5 would be excellent, that you're just achieving more than what we asked of you. So each one of the items the items from 1 through 5 is going to have scores from 0 to 5, and then we're going to be pondering that to a final score. I haven't seen any questions come in, so remember, feel free to type down your questions whenever you want. I'll get to them towards the end. So let's continue. The other thing I was telling you about was the International Expo, the space where you'll be able to showcase your project to many people. It's kind of an entrepreneur fair, if you would like. And this is where you're going to have your own booth. You're going to have a space. There are going to be 2 panels with made of cardboard, where you'll be able to pin down any graphic material you want to pin down. Some people pin down their flags or other stuff that are explaining their project. Each one of these cardboard panels is going to be 1.20 meters by 2.20 meters each, and they're going to be decorated by you. So it's very important for you to know that there are 2 panels, cardboard finish. They're going to be decorated by you. They're not going to have anything on them. So this is space that we give to you so that you can be creative and fill them with materials that will be attractive to people that are going through the International Expo. The table, you also have a table, not just the panels that we're giving to you. The table is going to be 2 meters by 1 meter. It's going to have a white tablecloth, and you also should decorate the table. Fill it up with pamphlets, or fill it up with briefs. Maybe you want to print some documents that people can take. Be creative. You can also use the table to put your prototype in there if you have a physical prototype, to put your laptop if you're trying to showcase a web or an app. Be creative. This is your space. We're giving you a table. We're giving you the cardboard panels. You do whatever you like with it. The objective is for you to have an attractive booth. You will have access to electrical outlet. Each team will be responsible for bringing their own electronic devices, such as a laptop, tablets, or others, if you deem necessary to have them. Also, if you're coming from a place where electricity is not the same as in Mexico in terms of voltage, be sure to bring your own converter or adapter that will not ruin your electronic devices. Finally, the booth assembly is scheduled for Sunday, June 18, starting at 2 p.m. This is very important because that same day, on Sunday, we will have a visit to the International Expo by important stakeholders. So it's going to be very important for you to be ready to dress up your booth on Sunday. We will have that visit to it, but then the main day of the expo will be where it will be open full day is going to be on Monday, June 19th. The dismantling of the expo will be on the night of the same day after the closing ceremony and awards. So this kind of image booth example model that you can take into consideration is not going to be exactly like this, but basically those are the two wooden or cardboard panels that we're giving to you. In this picture, you're seeing two versions of it. So there's one on the right side that has two panels. There's one on the left side that has two panels too. And these are the places where you'll be able to decorate. Also, additionally to this, you will have a table where you're going to be able to put stuff in it, and also, to make it look nice and attractive. Going to the event venue, and I told you this before, on Sunday, June the 18th, we're going to have two venues. The first one where we're going to spend the morning is going to be the Hotel Crystal Urban Cancun. The evaluations will be in level B2. You have there the address. If you need the address, of course, you can always go back to this presentation. Remember that the hotel is the Crystal Urban Cancun. There's another Crystal Hotel in Cancun. So if you ever get lost, you need to know that this is not the other Crystal Hotel. This is the Crystal Urban Hotel. Also, we're going to have a youth dialogue, and TIC Americas, this is aside from the TIC Americas International Expo. The youth dialogue will be at the Moon Palace. You are not required to be part of the youth dialogue, but if at some point we see that it's viable for you to participate in this youth dialogue, you're more than welcome to participate, but just making sure that you have your other responsibilities, which is setting up the booth, done before you can actually participate in this parallel activity we're doing. So Sunday, June, we have two venues to summarize everything. We are going to spend the morning until lunch at the Hotel Crystal Urban, where we're staying, and the afternoon we're going to be spending it at the Moon Palace Convention Center. And on Monday, the whole day is going to be in the Moon Palace Convention Center. This is where we're going to have the International Expo, where we're going to have the plenary sessions, and we're going to have the closing ceremony and awards. That's a picture of the Moon Palace Arena, where we're going to be spending the afternoon of Sunday and the complete day of Monday. So I want to get to the questions soon. Let me just read this to you real quick. For the winners, this is just general stuff I wanted to talk to you about. The winners will be, will receive the cash prizes. They must be used as seed capital for your companies or for your projects. The seed capital must be used for the project we're awarding. The accommodation, the scholar, and companion. I mean, the people that have received that has already received the scholarship, and if there are any additional members traveling, can share the double room assigned to the team. Each room is entitled to 2 breakfasts, not more, not less, 2 breakfasts, and there's a double room, so it'll be 2 beds. At check-in, you will be asked for a credit card as a guarantee for consumption during your stay, so be prepared to give a credit card when you check in. That is your credit card that will be on file, and if you make any additional charges, like if you want to order a pizza during the night or whatever other thing you might think of, that will be on your credit card. For the accreditation of the 47th General Assembly of the Organization of American States, the plan right now is that once the finalists leave the airport, they will board the available transportation that we'll have for you at the airport, and you will stop at the Marriott Hotel to receive the accreditations. So please bring a copy of the confirmation you will receive on your email. This is a confirmation letter stating that you will be participating in the 47th General Assembly of the OAS. Without that, you won't be able to get your accreditation, your badge. So bring it, a physical copy of it, print it, and have it with you. Don't put it in your luggage that you have checked. Have it with you at all times, because we're going to. The plan is to go straight from the airport to pick up that badge. The first thing you will do when you get to Cancun. What does the scholarship include? You already know this, but the scholarship we've given it to one of the team members, and it covers the travel costs, the transfers from place to place, the hotel stay, the lunches. Remember, your stay includes a breakfast when you're staying at the hotel, so you'll be able to have breakfast. Also, we'll be covering your lunches. But then again, dinners are free. And when I say free, I mean that you're free to go to have dinner wherever you want. Although dinners are, they will be have to paid by you. So we're taking care of the breakfast, we're taking care of the lunches. You will be needed to cover your own dinner expenses. Again, the travel insurance, the visa, tourist itineraries, other things you want to do in the country are your responsibility. So for business resources, as I said before, we've done a bunch of webinars on how to do elevator pitch. We've done some recent ones. If you have not seen it, you weren't able to participate live, just go back to the ybt.net/bootcamp website. You'll be able to access all the different webinars that are being recorded, including this one will be uploaded soon enough to that platform. I highly recommend that you check out the different webinars we have there so that you can be prepared for the finals, not just for the elevator pitch, but also for different tools you might want to create before going there, such as the business model canvas, for example. So that's it for me. I'm open for any questions you want to make. Thank you so much for being a part of this competition. Hopefully for this next edition, one of you is going to be on this picture, raising their trophies and their big checks. We congratulate you on reaching the finals. We're very excited for you to be there with us. Please go ahead and make your questions. I'm more than glad to answer them right now. I'm leaving the email where you can also send any particular questions when they come up, should they arise. Once again, I'm being asked to just clarify that during the presentation, you are able to show a video, as I said before. Just make sure that is not a long video. It should last maximum of 3 minutes. And also try to show that video when you're not talking. If you're talking and showing a video, it might become a little bit confusing for the judges to concentrate on something. So go ahead. I'm waiting for your questions. I'm assuming if you don't have any questions, I've done a superb job in explaining everything, but I'm not sure if that is the case. So please make your questions if you have any. Okay, we don't see any questions coming. Let me just check. It seems like there are no questions. If there's anything else that you need to get an answer of, if something comes up, please send us an email at TICamericas@ybt.net. you're seeing the email on your screen right now. We will be more than glad to answer it. And if there are not any questions, I'm going to go ahead and close the session. Also, remember that you can, if you send us your email to this email address, you can type in your subject that you're writing for the Caribbean Innovation Competition, and we'll be more than glad to refer that question to the correct person. But we're centralizing all the different questions that may arise on that particular email. So thank you very much for being with us today. Once again, congratulations on reaching the finals. This is a very important accomplishment that you've made. We're looking forward to meeting you in person in Cancun. And remember, be prepared, have everything you need to have, print out your accreditation letter for the 47th General Assembly, have it with you at all times. Anything else that should arise, we're here. Send us an email, give us a call. We'll be more than glad to help you out with it. So thank you very much and have a good afternoon.